Alright, what's up guys? I'm sorry for the delay on this video on how I was supposed to show you guys a full detailed spawn trap tutorial. I just never really got around to it. I honestly didn't feel like doing it, but I guess I just decided to finish it now. But I guess I'm just gonna start where I spawn. Change team strategies. Now this spawn trap is called the White Wall. This is one of the best spawn traps on the map. Now, when you spawn, this is where you want to stand, and this is where you want to aim. You don't want to be too far over here, and you don't want to be to where this line right here. This is perfect. Exactly where I'm standing is perfect. You easily hit that. Now, when you move over here, you want to shoot the edge of the dumpster, the very edge. You can't move over and shoot there. You have to shoot the very edge, and you can't be farther. You can't be farther than the box. You have to be on the very edge of the dumpster. Like that. Then you just come back to the same spot, and you'll hit it. It's not hard. It just takes practice. Even I miss a lot of spawn traps, but you know how it goes. You just go back and forth. Now the next spawn trap that I'll show you is the one that I created and, you know, made famous for this map. It is on this plane. Pretty much everybody knows this spawn trap. It's probably the most known on this map. Now the best way to get up here is to just jump in the window. Keep walking forward until you can't walk forward anymore until you get stuck. You just jump once and ease your way up to the bolts. You get a full jump. This takes practice, a lot of practice. You just get a full jump and you just jump up to the second level and you just jump up to the third level onto the top of the plane. And it's really easy once you get it down. But on this spawn trap, you don't want to walk past this. You don't want to walk past these bolts, and you don't want to. Yeah, right here is where you want to set for this spawn trap. You want to do this here, this one right here. The little oozing brown shit. I don't know what it is, but you want to shoot to the left of it, exactly to the left, and you want to come back up here, and you want to aim directly, like a little bit above the mail slot. Like I said, you want to be standing on these bolts. You want to be aiming above the mail slot. Around that area, above it. That. Then you just come back inside the brown oozing shit. And you want to shoot around the mail slot. It depends, really, spawn trapping depends on where you're standing. If you're standing up here, it really is above the mail slot, but if you're standing a little bit back, it's going to be to the right just a little bit. Depending on where you stand. That's what a spawn trap is where you're standing. Now, for the next spawn trap, I guess I'll do this one right here. Change team strategies. Now when you're doing this one, you want to some people peek out to where they can actually see the other player, but I don't really like doing that because it kind of ruins the spawn trap sometimes. But you just want to, this is where you want to stand, like right in this area, and you just want to shoot toward the left, toward the middle, pretty much toward the middle of the window. That panel right there. And then when you want to do the other spawn trap, you want to line yourself up with the tire, and you want to shoot the very edge of the dumpster. The very edge of the dumpster while you're lined up with the tire. But say if you're not lined up with the tire and you're, say, just like a foot to the right of it, you want to subtract to where you're supposed to shoot and shoot a little bit to the right. Sometimes it's much harder to hit it to the right because you could be something could be in your way, but when you're standing on the tire at the very edge of the dumpster, nothing will be in your way and you'll have a clear shot. On this one, you just stand where I move back a little bit and stand behind pretty much where I'm standing. But see, like I said, you have to subtract to where you was standing. Sometimes, like I said, spawn trapping is pretty much where you are standing. And the one that I done last time, I was standing a little bit more to the left. Therefore, I would have to shoot a little bit more to the left. I was just standing a little bit more to the right. That's where the bullet just went. You just want to come around here and line yourself up really quick. The only way to hit a spawn trap, the best way, is to always line your shot up. Never drag, never pop shot, never do anything. Don't do anything like that. Don't drag and try to hit a spawn trap. You always line your shot up to where you're standing and to where you're supposed to shoot, and you'll hit your shots about 80% of the time if you practice. But it's mostly where you stand. But like on the tire, if you a little bit to the right, you just subtract where you're standing, and you'll hit it. Really that simple. Team Stradius. Now for this one, you cannot be like this to where you can't see over there. You can't see that spawn trap. You can't see that spawn. You always have to be able to see that spawn right there in order to get a two-piece on this. Now when you're standing here, you want to shoot the box, the electric little box there. But you also want to make sure there's a little triangle, like the little window, like there's a little triangle opening of the window. And if that's the case, then you just want to shoot the box. That's it, just box, and they should spawn right there. Then when they spawn here, after you kill them from there, then they will spawn over here. To the right of the no parking sign, there's just like a little strip going down of some brown oozing shit. I have no idea what it is. And you just shoot right on it, standing in this spot. And for these two, it'll be in the same spot every time. They won't spawn. They might spawn. Sometimes they'll spawn over there, but oh, and another thing, you can't be able. You cannot see the window. If you see the window, then they will more than likely spawn over there. If you can see the window, the only way to do the two-piece on this is not be set up right. You have to be standing in the exact spot. You cannot be able to see the window. Like I said, you just shoot the spot. You hit it direct on it. You just shoot the electric box. You have to be standing in the exact same spot in order to hit the two-piece perfectly. Sometimes they will spawn over there, but that's always. After you hit like maybe 2 or 3 piece, they will always spawn over there. I don't know, it's always been like that. The spawn trap is very easy, but when you're actually in a game doing it, it gets harder. It gets a lot harder. For the next spawn trap, this one is extremely hard, and it's rarely that I hit it, but I am better at hitting it than most people, probably than anybody. But okay. Now when you're doing the spawn trap, I always want to be standing on the ledge. Now here's how you want to line your sights. You're going to look through this window right here, and you're going to be looking through this window. But how you want to set yourself up is you take half of this panel, and you take half of this side, and you like line it straight up. You line it straight up. Try to line it straight up like this right here. This is perfect. See the bullet hole? You get half and half, and you line it straight up. And where you want to shoot, the bottom left. There's a line right there. There's a line that goes up, and you want to shoot that, the bottom left, like say right here. See? That's exactly where you always want to shoot. And then when you come to this one, now how to set this up is this blue thing here. All you want to do is have that covered all the way up to the boxes, and then when you're set, you shoot just pretty much in the middle of those little fucking suitcases and then the brown box. You just want to shoot in the middle. See? But if you're set up like this, where you can see the blue, and you shoot in the middle, sometimes you'll need to move over. But if you're, like, say, a little bit over, you just want, like I said, subtract to where you was standing. If you're not standing in the right spot, and you can think fast enough, and you subtract where you was standing, you just move your shot, like maybe an inch over, and you should hit it. Now, like as I was saying, always remember to line this shot up. Always remember the line, and remember half and half, and the bottom left corner. And you'll hit that shot easily every time. This shot, just make sure the blue is half of your screen, and you shoot the middle right there. And if you're a little bit to the left, you just want to subtract your shot. It should be somewhere in this area. Might have it off a little bit. Just subtract where you're standing. It's by centimeters, not by any meters or anything. Now for this one, when they spawn there, you can't really spawn trap when you just have to let them come out, and you got to time your shot correctly. And when you hit that spawn, you just come over here. Sometimes they will spawn there, but you can't do a spawn trap on that one. You gotta walk out. But you have to do it very quick. You gotta do this spawn trap, and you gotta quickly move on the ledge. Gotta quickly move before they spawn. Okay? And if you practice, you just get it down easy enough to where you can hit them just like me. Now for the next spawn trap, this one is pretty easy, and I use this probably more than all of them. And this one's really easy. Now when you're doing this spawn trap, you just wanna be standing exactly where I'm at, to the point to where all you can see is that spawn right there and the back of the plane, to where that's all you can see. You don't want to be over here to where you can see the trash can. You don't want to be there. You want to be standing right here. That way you can see the back of the plane and you can see that spawn. The reason why this is because if you're standing a little bit to the far right over here, they won't spawn there. They'll spawn over there. And that just won't work out. Now they'll spawn the back of the plane. And then they'll spawn there, see? You just shoot right. Hit it right on them. And then you just spawn the plane again. And this is all it is. Simple. This is a very easy spawn trap. Sometimes they will spawn over there, even while you're doing this one. They will spawn over there, but you could probably hit a 10 feet before they would spawn over there, so... Unless you're standing perfectly. I mean, I'm standing perfectly right now, so... I doubt they'll spawn over there. See, it's a very easy spawn trap. Now for this one over here, this is the one that I've done on Dr. Examinate, the first ranked game that we ever actually did. off the start of the game, I hit a 4-piece on this spawn trap. The funny thing is though, I practiced this spawn trap right before the game. I figured it out right before the game and hit it. Now, how you want to place yourself is the blue barrels and the little vent, the little fan there. You line them both up, line both of them up, line it straight up with each other, and that's how you want to stand. You want to stand a little bit out. And for this spawn trap, you hit the very corner of the plane. It's very hard to hit because there's no other way to hit it besides hitting the very corner. And when you turn around, you take the vent and you aim down just a little bit, and you shoot a little bit in the middle, a little bit to the left of the vent. Down, it's like splitting the vent in half, and you just go down to the left a little bit. That's where you shoot, and then you just turn back around, shoot in the middle, and you look over here. That's it. That's the spawn trap. It's just as easy as that, but it takes a lot of practice. Spawn trap. Now, for the one that most people know and everybody abuses, I'm going to show this no matter what because it's a spawn trap, but it's the worst spawn trap that I have ever seen. Everybody does it. It's so easy to hit. It's just over abused, and I do recommend if somebody ever gets on this spawn trap, head glitch on the truck and pick them off, please. Because this is just too easy to hit. The reason why I probably won't hit it as much is because I haven't practiced it. But it's just so easy to where the point I just don't. I can't stand this spawn trap. Now when you're on the L plane, this spawn trap is called the L plane. When you're up here, you want to line yourself up with the bolts to where the bolts line up to the window, and you just want to aim a little bit on the little line. You just want to aim down a little bit. It's pretty much lining your sights up with the corner of the window. You just want to aim down a little bit. And then for this one, you turn around. You want to shoot like kind of in the middle of this. You just want to shoot in the middle. Like say you got the triangle that goes around it, and you just want to shoot in the middle. Just shoot in the middle of the little triangle. So this, shoot the bolt. Not really good at this spawn trap, but I don't ever do this spawn trap, but I do know how to hit it. I just don't like doing it. When people do it, it's so easy. And if somebody ever gets on LP, I recommend getting on truck and head glitching. Please. Because this is just too easy. It seriously is. You could probably sit here and get a 20-piece. Spawn trap is too easy. Look at this. That spawn trap is extremely easy, but it's I mean, a lot of people do it, but if you ever got on L plane on me, I will head glitch the fuck out of you, and I don't care what you say. Just don't do it, because it's too easy. Practice all the other spawn traps, the ones that are actually hard to hit, so that way you can feel better about yourself. Now there aren't really any other spawn traps that I can tell you besides like 1 pieces to set up. Now everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. When you're standing here, change team strays. When you're standing here, they'll either spawn over there, or 80% of the time they'll spawn right there. Now you can either just pop out and time it right and hit them while they're trying to run out, and then once you do hit them, you turn around and you line yourself up to this spot right here. Sometimes they'll spawn over there, and that's actually part of a 2-piece, but it's hard to hit. The spawn trap is really hard to hit. Thanks, Team Stratus. The main spawn trap to hit is when they spawn right in there. See, now when they spawn here, you just want to shoot depending on where you're standing, on how you line your sights up, that's pretty much every spawn trap. If you're standing a little bit to the right, you just want to shoot a little bit to the right. Or if you're standing a little bit to the left, you want to shoot on the right side of the back of the truck. You just want to aim your sights up. This is where you want to shoot, in this range right here. Right there. You always want to hit that spot. If you time it right, you'll hit it every time. I don't really know this one. I can't really tell you. I've only hit it maybe once in a blue moon. But I usually run up and try to hit it from here, and it's a lot easier, see? It's a lot easier for me. Put the back of the truck, sometimes come back here. See, sometimes they don't spawn there. Now when they spawn here, if you want to be risky, and you want to give them an opportunity to hit a fucking 5-piece on you, then that's just you. The best thing to do is either go on ziggurat, or you can just go around. You know, whatever you can do best to get the person off white wall. But I'm pretty sure everybody knows this, but the easy ways to get on the plane is to just jump toward and like move to the right just a tiny bit. And it's an easy way to get on airplane and different planes and just figure different ways out of getting on top of the planes. Really easy. And another spawn trap that I honestly can't hit, but I know how to, but I know where to stand, but it's only a 1-piece, and it's hard, it's extremely hard to hit. I think you shoot somewhere in that area, up to the top right, but I'm not for sure, but you need to find out yourself and you can practice it. But when you come out of here and you're on truck and you kill them and they're say over there on the porch or something, back up a little bit. Don't stand straight up to the plane like this, or else they won't spawn there. Back up a little bit and then they'll spawn there. That way you can just hit the spawn trap. Change team strategies. See, if I was close, they wouldn't have spawned there. But if you back up a little bit, you can still spawn there. You just want to shoot a little bit in that corner right there. Want to aim up a little bit. Change team strategies. See, now change teams. See, they won't spawn there if I'm moved up. Change teams again. But they will not spawn there if I'm moved up. You have to be standing back a little bit. See? The only way to get them to spawn there is if you're standing back a little bit. And then once you hit that, you can quickly run up and hit this one. Now, there might be some of them, some of you are going to think, there's a couple more spawn traps that I didn't show. Well, there's no point in showing them considering they're not really that effective. They're not really that effective. I don't consider them effective spawn traps because nobody rarely does them, and you just can't hit any pieces on them. It's pointless. Alright, the next spawn trap. This is one that everybody knows, and this is a very easy spawn trap. And it's probably one of the most useful spawn traps. Now when you're doing this one, always when you want to hit this spawn trap in the plane, you always want to be standing next to the wall. If you're not standing next to the wall, they probably won't spawn there. They'll either spawn over there, they'll spawn mostly over there, and they'll spawn in that building. Stand next to the wall, and the majority, about 80% of the time, they will spawn in that plane. Now, when on this spawn trap, it does not matter where you're standing on the wall. Wherever it's the same spot to shoot. Every time, it doesn't matter where you're at on the wall. It's the same spot. Change teams. See, I was standing here and I hit this one this time. I'm gonna move back here. It's the same spot every time. And then I'm gonna move forward this time. It's the same spot. Change teams. Now make sure that you cannot see any of this area whatsoever. See, now as he as he was trying to change teams, and I was looking at this area, he did not spawn in plane. Now, you can make sure you cannot see any of that area, and then you just want to hit the same spot. You just want to hit to the left of the tree, like right in the middle. Once you get it down, you'll get used to it. The bolts right there, just a little bit to the left, you'll get used to it. It's easy. It's really easy spawn trap. Now for this one, you want to walk out. Now, when you're walking out, it's so easy to go too far. Now, set yourself up for this. You cannot see the window. That's absolutely not. Make sure you do not see the window. If you see the window, they won't spawn there. When you do this one and you walk out and you can see the window, they'll spawn over there and they'll easily run up and, you know, kill you. Now when you're standing here, make sure you cannot see the window. You just, like for this spawn trap right here, on how you shot the little strip of ooze and goo shit, you just shoot the one to the right of it. You shoot toward the one on the right of it. Depending on how far you're standing out, you just subtract and it'll be a little bit like a centimeter to the right. You just walk out just a little bit. Shoot a little bit to the right. Now if you see the window, they won't spawn there. That'll do it quick enough and just practice it. It's extremely easy. Now the majority of the times they will spawn on that spot, but when that happens, just run out and, you know, try to get a quick kill and get yourself set back up. It's extremely easy, a very easy spawn trap to do. But I just want to show you the last spawn trap, and it's on the ziggurat plane. I haven't really practiced this spot much because I don't really get on this plane much unless you're on a white wall or something. But change scene strategies. And where you want to shoot is either in the middle of that, or depending on where you stand, it's in the middle of that or a little bit to the right. Now I would say it's a little bit to the right, but I might be shooting a little bit too high. This spawn trap, I haven't really practiced that much, but once you hit this one, you back up a little bit, and they will spawn in that building. Or best way to do this one is to just go prone, unless you know, are pinpoint accurate and know exactly where to shoot through. You just want to prone, and you can see their feet. You can see their feet. That's exactly where they spawn. And then you just turn back around. I haven't practiced, so I can't really hit it, but I do know where to hit. So now they'll always spawn here. You might get lucky and hit a 4-piece or a 3-piece, but they will always spawn in this spot. You just come back over here and back up, line yourself up, on there. But when a lot of people don't know this, but when the game starts, the majority of spawns are here. The majority of spawns, when the game is counting down, the majority of spawns are here, in the plane, right there, and over there, right there, and there, and pretty much all the spawns. Now, when you're playing, you want to switch teams to where you can line your opponent up, to where you can do a quick 180 to get, like, say, as soon as the game starts, you want to do a quick 180, and you know it just looks badass, and you know it's cool. It's really hard to do. I've only hit it a couple times. So, sorry for the delay on this video, and yeah, that's pretty much all it is. Torture, watch me go down past the New York border.